You're welcome to Cavan TV, and this is the first live streamed broadcast on Cavan TV, and welcome to the community programme on Cavan TV. It's a live programme, so bear with us for our first programme, and you're all welcome as viewers on cavantv.com. And I have with me here today Sean McKiernan, Cahirlock, and Anya Duffy, who is a volunteer broadcaster on Cavan Community Radio. CavanCommunityRadio.org. So Sean, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And what motivated you to be here today?
Well, do you mean kind of in a broad philosophical sense or in a practical sense? I was asked to come,
right.
And anything to do with yourself and the community radio, or Brian Daly and all of his team and CavanTV.com. I'm very keen to support that. So so that's the practical reason for why.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I'm here as well, Sean, on a practical reason, is to promote Cavan Community Radio and how wonderful it is and the work that we do. And so what do you think we'd hope to achieve with the live streaming?
Well, what I see happening today is the marrying of two very exciting initiatives in the life of this county in the last year or year and a half or so. And in terms of reaching out to our global diaspora, I know CavanTV.com has over 100 countries that are checking in on it regularly. And one of the themes of my chairmanship and what the little time that's left in it is that we have a much more structured dialogue with our great diaspora, which unfortunately is increasing in size owing to recent years and the economic turmoil. So I see this as great potential. But in terms of people who are still here in Cavan linking in on the cable system here in Cavan Town or checking out the internet, both the community radio and CavanTV.com are covering a lot of events that the mainstream media in the county might miss or mightn't be able to cover in the same depth. So it's adding a lot of value.
Exactly, that's what we're trying to achieve with community media as such, isn't it?
And it's training up people like yourself and Anya into these skills as well, so they're not the preserve of a kind of a Dublin 4 elite. You know, anyone can present a programme or do an interview.
Yeah, exactly. Because what we're trying to do is to be a voice for the community and for people that working so hard at wonderful stuff in their community, wonderful projects that are happening right now as we speak. So we want the programme to be a platform for them, isn't that right?
I mean, like this week's Anglo Celt, they had their good news, little smiley face. I mean, there's a lot of positives that we can accentuate, and we should. And that doesn't mean you gloss over issues, but there are always going to be issues. I mean, you know, human beings are imperfect creations, and anything we try to create, therefore, is imperfect in terms of society. So, you know, you're always going to have issues. Even in good times, we had issues and we had discord but I think it's important to accentuate the positives that are happening in our community, because that does affect the way people perceive the problems. Then they might perceive them in a more positive way or act on problems in a more positive way.
And yourself, Anya, you do voluntary work for the Cavan Community Radio as a broadcaster. And do you see that as a bit like what we're trying to achieve here tonight, a positive thing in your community?
Absolutely. I think it's really interesting to be out there. People are interested in what you do, and as you know yourself, and I do the community guide, which is very, very important. It's local, it's what's going on.
That's the programme that you broadcast on the radio, isn't it?
It's local, it's what's going on at the very face of Cavan Town. And also we do many other programmes as well, like we do the arts programme, community focus, and it's all based on community, Cavan Town, and the outside lying towns as well.
And what's happening and what's going on.
And numbers to ring, people to get in contact. You can have your own voice. Get in there. If you want to say something, say something. We're there to listen and to present as well.
And as a platform like this is a great way for community groups and people in Cavan to network and find out about what each other is doing, because sometimes it's difficult to know what everyone's
we're keeping an eye out for each other as well. We were, keeping an eye out for each other in the bad weather last year, and keeping an eye out for each other in small issues like burglaries and things like that. Just minding each other and things like that on a small issue. It's small, but it's big at the same time, you know.
So that's Cavan Community Radio on 97.4 FM. We go out on 2 to 5 on a Thursday. So if you want to tune in, 97.4 FM.
And remember, the first 20 minutes are the most important.
So Sean, just to continue on from there, Cahirlock. You're the Cahirlock, right?
Yes.
Which is why you're wearing that
Yes, well, I thought I might as well.
Jewellery.
I might as well get use out of it.
Is that the one? What you call him? Sexton used to have? No.
No, well, I don't know. Well, this is the county chain, so it's different from the town mayor's chain.
Just to be sure.
Yeah.
So Cathaoirleach, what does that mean?
Well, it's the Gaelic for chairman.
Right.
So it's not. I was recently asking someone what the German for chairman was because that might be the way the country's going. Anyway, that's a bad joke. But anyway, I apologise.
Particularly on a day like today.
But so that's the chain of office, and all of my predecessors are listed on it, and
you can see the names there.
And they go back to 1899.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Scanlon, the jeweller here in town, puts them on, and when I took over, we added about 5 or 6 names that hadn't been put on. So he asked me if I wanted mine on yet, and I said no, we won't tempt fate in case I died halfway through or didn't see 2012. So thankfully, touch wood, I've seen 2012.
So a typical week then for you, Sean. What have you been doing in terms of community this week?
Yeah, well, no week is the same. I mean, you can't really kind of set out a schedule or a diary. It's impossible to kind of track in that sense.
Like, what would be your role as such?
Yeah,
like
well,
in a typical week.
To give you a flavour, say maybe of the last week or 10 days. Firstly, it's an honorary position. You know, you're very much a figurehead. Yeah. It's kind of, you know, without being over the top, it's kind of like being president on a county scale. So you don't have executive power.
Right.
And you don't, and you know, you kind of have to realise that. And I think when you realise that and you realise what you can do, you kind of are much happier as an individual and as
executive power. What do you mean by that, Sean?
Well, you're not running the county on a day-to-day basis. That's the role of the county manager and of his staff. So you're not. That's the system of local government we have in this country, and you know, I might have personal views about the system we should have. Like I think we should have directly elected mayors, and I make no apologies. I wouldn't be popular with political colleagues for saying that, because a lot of people enjoy the opportunity to get the chain of office and it rotates each year. Yeah. But I'm of the view though that people might identify more with local government if local elections are about a vision of how the county was run, rather than about the merits of individuals within different communities and how popular they were. Okay. Which is kind of essentially what determines results at the moment.
Right, okay.
Your ability to motivate your own family and supporters and networks is a key, and your party network is a key component to getting elected. So I personally would think that the electorate now is sufficiently mature and clued in that that they would actually maybe make a vote on a local level in terms of the local direction they want. So, but anyway, I digress. I'm digressing massively from your question.
That's been discussed in the media.
Yeah, but it's something I believe in. I think then people might be more willing to pay.
How much power local government should have?
Yeah, well, there should be a definition between what's best done at national level. And what's best done at the most local level. And very clear divisions. And even though you have local government, a lot of things are still sent up to Dublin to be approved and back down again. So that's keeping lots of people busy, but it's not necessarily in the public's interest or in the taxpayers' interest.
I would think there's a lot of people who feel the same way you do, Sean. Yeah. How can people change that though?
Well, I think it's about the type of politician you elect. I think also the electorate have a role to play too in terms of. I remember there was a lot of discussion at the summer schools each summer are a big forum for a lot of this kind of more abstract discussion. Yeah. And I remember that this thing was posed about why is Michael Lowry consistently re-elected. Irish people. In general are quite appalled by the type of revelations coming from tribunals, etc. And yet someone like Michael Lowry is consistently re-elected because of his delivery in his own local community. So it kind of shows the kind of the schizophrenic nature of the Irish electorate, where you might vocally say, well, we want this value and we want that value from politicians, and yet they continue to vote in kind of defiance of that expressed opinion on. So I think there's a role for our electorate to be much more, to think more deeply about the decisions they make and the consequences.
Do you think a lot of that has to do though with our educational system, and really people don't know about how they can influence local government and local policy?
I mean, I did a thing. You asked me about my week, and I'll try and bring it back to that. I did a thing yesterday, thanks to the work of a very good member of Cavan County Council staff called Peter Crosby, where we had about 30 children from Ballinamony National School, visit a number of council sites around Bailieborough. So they visit the recycling plant.
Ballymoney now.
Ballymoney, yes.
Yeah.
It's a school midway between Bailieborough and Terworker.
Okay.
It's actually where I went to school,
right.
Incidentally. And we actually brought the December council meeting to the school as well to kind of have a bit of community outreach. The chairman has that bit of discretion at Christmas, so we brought the December meeting there. But we brought about 30 of the students. They saw the recycling centre and how that worked.
Yeah.
They saw the fire station and the range of equipment that's used there. They met with the local Gardaí and saw their equipment and learned a bit about their role. And then they went to the wastewater treatment plant in the town, which is a posh, politically correct name for sewage plant.
Okay.
Apologies, viewers. And saw how that worked.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I think that was educational. And they saw, these are things. This is where mummy and daddy's tax money is going to some extent, and these are services that are provided, and that you have to respect them and respect the people who deliver
Any
them.
interesting questions from the kids?
Tons of them, as you can imagine, and they all had big sheets of paper
stand out? Do you
and
remember?
were writing. Well, some of them might be repeatable on, even though they're young people.
One question.
Yes.
How many does it take to run your office?
My office, myself, and my iPhone, which is a big thing of sellotape across it because I cracked it and I don't have enough money to replace it, and my laptop, which I bring with me everywhere, and my computer at home. That is my office. Yourself. And a young person who's kind of interning with me to get a bit of experience.
Right.
On an ad hoc basis. So that is, I don't have enough. I have recently been given a bit of office space in the council, but I don't have any staff. Now, chairmen and mayors in other parts of the country would have quite elaborate support systems, but in Cavan, I mean, people...
Do you think you're setting a precedence?
Well, I hope. I mean, I think it's about, I happen to have an interest, I happen to have a certain level of energy, partly because of my age. I don't want to be ageist, but I suppose when you're younger, you tend to be more enthusiastic. And I have a certain level of energy, and I have a certain number of ideas. So it depends on who gets the office and who gets the chain and what they want to do with it. But I mean, certainly around the country there can be very elaborate kind of support systems around the chair and the mayor. I don't necessarily think that's necessary. It can be a help. In some cases they're very elaborate.
So like that, where the school in Bailieborough got engaged with, your work and had various tours around. Like if you were a school now, and how would they get in contact with you?
One of the things I want to do, and thanks for asking this, and I hope viewers at home kind of link into this and engage with it. One of the things I want to do in my kind of remaining months is I'm going to be contacting different national schools, and I want to have some engagement with every national school in the county if possible.
There's a lot of national schools.
There are, and time is short, and I do my day job as well. But hopefully, it all depends on the feedback we get and whether they'd favour or welcome such an interaction. You're not going to be able to bring every school child to see every council facility, but at the very least that I bring the council into their school and
but perhaps there's an aspect of something that the class might be interested in.
In fairness to Cavan County Council, independent of me and me being here, a lot of schools' work is done in terms of fire safety and things like that. We just mightn't be very good at publicising it and letting people know, but a lot of things are done in terms of road safety, fire safety, litter prevention, And
just getting back to that,
one voice, that was very good as well, the reading.
Yes, or the one Cavan one, so
and just getting back to that, contacting you there, Sean, how do they contact you if they want
they can look for me on Facebook.
Right.
That would be really modern, since we're on CavanTV.com. They can look for me on Facebook. Cathaoirleach McKiernan.
Do you have many
on
friends?
Facebook. I have 1,803.
Wow,
So
that's very good.
And on Twitter, so at Councillor McKiernan, CLLR McKiernan. I think over 850 followers on that.
Okay, Cavan Community Radio also have a Facebook page.
Very good.
And you must get to like it, Sean.
Do I not like it already?
No, you don't like it.
I like it in spirit. If I haven't pressed the button, I do like it in spirit.
Cavan Community Radio 97.4 FM. So
and the simplest thing is SeanMcKiernan.ie. You'll get all of my contact information on that. SeanMcKiernan.ie.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. And do you think that are you looking forward to the rest of your year, Sean?
Yes, I have
How long
February,
left do you
March.
have?
I have February, March, April, and May left, and as much of June as I can get before they cop on to it's time to change me.
Okay.
So, so I'm really looking forward to it. And I mean, it sounds like a cliche, and it sounds like a kind of a made-up line, but one thing it has increased my love of and my knowledge of is this county and its people. And we have fantastic people, and we do have a fantastic county, and we should be very proud of it.
Thanks, Sean, for that. So it's so good to hear that you have a positive, because you obviously your work is quite intensive then, because you're out and about all the time, going to different events.
Yes,
and, then do you have a day job as well? Or
I do. Well, I have a job that in itself is quite demanding. I'm a development officer of Mental Health Ireland.
Right.
So in that sense, I've always been used to evening work and out of hours work, and so it just means a very strict management of my diary.
Right. Okay.
And but in
so
many,
how do you relax then?
How do I relax? That is
because if you're all the time on the go, then and you have demands all the time.
Yeah, well, I find meeting people of itself quite relaxing, and talking to people and having kind of different interactions. And the thing about both roles is you tend to meet a lot of people you wouldn't normally meet.
Right.
That, if you were to follow a kind of a conventional course of life, I'm encountering lots of people I'd never meet otherwise.
You will certainly have raised the profile of Cathaoirleach.
Thank you, Anya. Yeah, thank you very much.
Because you're very good at talking, Sean. You're very good at public speaking.
Does that mean we need to keep filling the programme? Have you been told that in your earpiece?
So, the fact that you actually talking to people, you can relax.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I know that might sound.
It's quite fortunate for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I like to go out. I suppose I go out and socialise and that. Sometimes on quieter evenings,
right,
when you can talk to people properly.
Yeah.
But I enjoy reading. Funny enough, I used to love reading. One of the ironic things, one of the sad things about politics, or the type of politics we practice in Ireland, where there's a big premium on appearing and being present to things, and having very personal contact with people, which in itself is very grounding and keeps people centred. I think we can never lose sight of that either. But one of the regrets I have is I don't get to read as much as I'd like.
Right.
Because you actually don't get a lot of time to read. I used to love reading. I demolish a couple of books a week,
right,
and I actually don't find. You might do a chapter or two at night to put you to sleep.
And what would be your favourites then?
Again, I have to be boring. History and biographies, and particularly political biographies.
Okay. So what are you reading?
But Josephine Brady is trying to get me to read. She is trying to get me to read more fiction.
Okay.
She gave me some of the.
So you must have read something over Christmas then, did you? Or
I'm reading. I'm kind of dipping in and out of a biography of Ted Heath, the British Prime Minister who brought the UK into Europe.
Yeah.
So I can hear lots of people turning off the tellies now.
Okay, so that's we're coming to the end of our interview with Sean.
Thank you, Emer.
Thanks, Sean, for coming along.
Taking time and coming
it's
along.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be with two lovely ladies on a Wednesday night is no great. It's no great ordeal. It's no great ordeal now.
And let's hope we have great things, because it is a platform, this programme, for our community.
And I hope the public of Cavan engage with it, and if people have anything to say or anything to promote, that they make contact and use it as their platform.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Emer.
And up next we have two people who are heavily involved in the music scene in Cavan. Mr. Paul Cox.
How you doing?
And Tony Brady. You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
Good to be here.
So it is, isn't it?
It's nice to be back in the studio.
Yes, together.
That certainly is.
So we're here on the very first live streaming of I suppose a community space, or a programme for community people, live on the net on CavanTV.com. So is there anything that you think this year you'd like to achieve on the programme, or what's your ideas for the programme going?
Well, it was actually very enjoyable, Paul. Actually, listened to your interview there previous to this.
Yeah.
It is a great start to music scene, Paul, around town. We're not talking about politics or
No, politics is nothing to do with
wrong,
thank
fellas.
God.
Yeah.
But we'll have music-based programmes on CavanTV.com. We're bringing in all new acts that are coming up, coming in for interviews. Anything to do with arts, literary things, music specifically. Tony and I will be different genres, of course. Tony would be the country end, I'd be the pop, rocky end. So anybody that's out there, this is a platform for you now. You could contact us.
Yeah.
contact Emma. She'll
Right.
be the lady.
Yeah, or Brian here on cabintv.com. I think it's drumlinmedia@gmail.com as well if you want to email in.
drumlinmedia@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We want to hear from bands, artists, singers, poets.
Yeah, and also
Anything
Cavan Community Radio, we also have a slot for it called Beat, and Darren Curran is our current presenter on Cavan Community Radio, the Beat programme, every second week on a Thursday. And obviously, when you're driving in your car, you want to listen to a bit of music, and that's also a programme dedicated to the local music scene. And so if you want to get in touch with Darren Curran, just get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with Darren. And my email is emer@cavancommunity.ie, so that's EIMEAR CCR@cavancommunity.ie, and we'd be delighted to hear from you. So
Tony and I started on CCR.
did you?
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Long time
Yeah.
ago.
That's it, yeah.
We were pirates before Johnny Depp.
But we're actually trying to do it legitimately.
Yeah.
We're going through the BCI and
Well, we thought we were the same this year.
so it's taking, we're on our 100-day license now, so hopefully next we'll get our full license. So we're not slowly we're getting there.
But on the music end of things, Emer,
Yeah.
Cavan itself, like, I mean, it's a haven. Paul, you would agree with
definitely.
the massive success of Cavan's Got Talent and Imperial.
Start again. It's starting
up recently,
This must have been hugely enjoyable, wasn't it?
Yes, fantastic.
But when you see the amount of talent that are out there with no stage and nowhere to promote their music, something like this is going to be tremendous for the like of that. Not alone on the pop scene or that, but on the country scene and also on traditional scene and around Cavan itself, the amount of storytellers, Shannons singers, Shannons dancers, that are coming on since, of course, the Flagpole was a tremendous success in Cavan. So that has brought an awful lot of young people. That it's cool now to play traditional music. It's cool now to play country pop. It is bringing back the live scene, I think, more than anything else too, Paul. Would you agree?
It is. Cavan is a hive of musical activity. It has been for years, has been neglected because for years it was the football and the GAA, the soccer and everything was wanted to be sporty. But now it's cool to play guitar. Now it's cool to play the drums. It's cool to be in the band.
But unfortunately, Paul, too, as I said, they had no stage.
No.
You learned your instrument and that. Where did you go? From you were at a party or something like that.
And I think community media is such a great way to familiarise yourself with kind of how media works as well. If you're a band or if you're a musician, and kind of working with Brian here and working with Cavan Community Radio, you kind of that's how that works, or how can I work better with that? So it's kind of. It's a skill base there that's waiting for people to tap into as well, So it's.
And when we're talking about Cavan, county-wide. It's just, not just the town.
Absolutely, yes.
Because all over, from Turbot to Gowna, all over the county, there's musicians everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's playwrights, there's people who are acting. People have so much more buck now. They want to do stuff. They want to experiment.
It's everything got to do with the arts. Really and truly, that's what we want to promote. And CavanTV.com and Cavan Community Radio as well. It's great. It really is. It's a bright future. Thank goodness at long last.
Yes, absolutely.
In Cavan, you know what I mean? Like for years and years and years, out from the RTE or English stations, TV stations, and that, out from something bad happened. That's
the history as well of Cavan Community Radio. You people actually started that off.
That's right. The late Brian Riley.
You created a space for even that idea to
absolutely
happen.
Oh yeah. Actually at that time they thought we were mad. That was back 85, 85.
I was 10.
I was about 12.
So it's this idea as well of sowing ideas. And people want to get in contact with you. They have an idea that might be a little bit off the wall, but you can sort of look at ways to accommodate it.
Isn't that what local TV is all about? As long as it's entertaining. As long as it's presentable. Really and truly. I mean, if you go to another thing too around Cavan recently too, the theatres. The local plays. It's most enjoyable.
Fantastic.
Nowadays, to go and see local playwrights.
Writing stuff. Well, look at the success of when Joe Dolan's car broke down.
That's right.
It's massive. countrywide.
Yeah.
It's massive, and it started in this region, you know, so it's out there. We just need people to come along, and Cavan TV and CCR get in contact. This is your platform.
Yeah.
This is what people want. We want people
And
to
it's
come.
good fun as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you get to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily meet as well. You know,
Yeah.
and maybe exchange ideas that you wouldn't. You know.
It's always something musical in Cavan.
Yeah.
Always
So
something.
either if you play
Yeah.
like instruments or that kind of thing.
No, yeah.
That could be embarrassing.
Yeah,
isn't it? yeah.
This could be.
I think you may do, but
Yes.
We have been known.
We have been known
Yeah.
to we're not going to sing tonight.
No.
I don't think that.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying
But
anything.
we have been noted to do a bit of music. Yes.
Yeah.
We're involved in music, sure.
For
Goodness.
lifetime.
were you in bands together or?
No, we have.
No, different bands. But
We've been associates, all right.
yeah,
for-
absolutely. Yeah. We worked in the media for many years.
Yeah, it was
Right.
great crack.
Yeah.
We were in different bands, different
Yeah.
styles, different things, different tracks we
Yeah.
were taking, and just
Of
like
course,
that.
it's a whole feel-good factor, isn't
Yeah.
there, when you get involved with music?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And it's,
Yeah, and it's great coming together of especially young people. Really and truly, instead of head stuck in computer all the time or hanging around the street or whatever, get an instrument. There's plenty of workshops
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
that's great.
To learn an
Yeah.
instrument, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I said, since Flackyold came to town,
Yeah.
I mean the amount of people, our good friend Martin Donoghue was
Yeah.
saying recently that the amount of the younger generation now coming on, playing accordions, fiddles, whatever the case might be, it's tremendous, and it's a great get together
yeah.
of young people instead of, as I said, just being out of school, straight to home, into the computer, and that's that.
Yeah.
Now, if they have to spend an hour or half an hour rehearsing or practicing their instrument in the evening time, it's great.
And
Yeah.
that's it, when you have a little bit of spare time, you know, and how do you constructively, you know,
Absolutely.
how do you use it to... so,
it
you know,
becomes
yeah.
it becomes party and becomes an obsession.
Yeah.
If you're in a band, it becomes
So if you get involved with Cavan TV or
Yeah.
Cavan Community Radio, you have a bit of time on your hands, you'd like to learn a new skill, you like to see what's happening.
Absolutely.
It's here for all those people that are out there that, you know, would like to, maybe don't even play an instrument,
Yeah.
but are interested in the technical side of things perhaps.
Oh,
or
absolutely, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
anything like
Absolute
that.
presentation or
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's really what the community TV is all
Yeah,
about, and
yeah.
community radio.
community
Yeah.
radio. Get people involved. We want people involved. We want people
Yeah.
to want them to form
So could you
bands.
fit a band in here, Paul?
Of course could.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Well, the studio through there, you can.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can actually.
definitely.
We can actually.
There's
set
another
up.
studio next
There's
door.
another studio next
Yeah.
door that we can use for live recordings or
Yeah.
live.
And again, if any bands are watching now or listening,
Yeah, yeah.
contact us cavantv.com.
Absolutely, because it
We can
really
bring
is
on.
hard to know who is out there.
Yeah.
You know, so unless communities get involved themselves and say, well, look at, there's a great band in Lochgallina.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how are we to know in Lochgallina, or Ballyborough, or Ballycondle, Balboy?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
absolutely.
we really wouldn't. You're not going to come across them except if somebody says, you should have a listen to this band,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or that sort of a way.
And Facebook as well. cavantv.com
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
on Facebook. It's CCR on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Cavan Community Radio,
Yeah.
97.4 FM. So we need people to like us.
Oh yeah.
We need people to like us on Facebook.
We like emo. We like it. Your sound.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. It's a
as-
pity. I'm just thinking it's a pity Eva wasn't around when we were on radio.
Yeah.
Way back
Yeah, yeah.
The mid 80s.
So, as well as that, if people can't make it tonight, because we're going out live on what day is today, Paul?
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. If we're going out live on a Wednesday, you might be able to make it, but we can. I'm sure Brian could organise things to get pre-recorded.
Absolutely, yes.
If you're a band and you're out gigging or something, and
Absolutely.
you just want to record something, I'm sure we could record.
Send it in.
next door,
Send it in.
yeah.
Anything. We want anything.
Or send in your MP3s to Cavan Community
Yeah.
Radio, because we can just beam them out straight away onto our schedule. So you know.
But
that's
it will not
possible.
happen except people get involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Really and truly, especially young
Yeah.
bands,
Yeah.
artists,
Yeah.
or somebody who knows somebody in the area.
Yeah.
You know, so they really have to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, themselves and that.
Maybe a CavanTV.com soap opera.
Oh,
That'd be-
that'd be good. Some of the stories I can tell you now.
Absolutely.
Because we have one coming up.
could make a return.
We have a wonderful soap opera coming up on community radio. It's called Mullanders.
Oh,
It's a youth group in Mulla. and they've put together a little kind of youth group community radio play.
Brilliant.
So we'll be putting that out over a series of 6 weeks in February, from February onwards. So.
Good stuff.
And it's fantastic because
It's pre-recorded.
It's pre-recorded. The drama group got together, came up with a story, and they've put it together, recorded it now, and we're going to put it out. So
brilliant.
And that's a youth group getting together in mid-February.
I'm going to be interviewing you now. When's the starting? Who's it?
Mid-February, and that's Katrina. Catherine McKiernan out in Mulla. She's a fantastic. They've got a youth stage theatre group in Mulla, and they've put together this play. So. Fair play to them. They're all young people aged from 12 up to 14 and 16, and they've got together and made a play about kind of issues that perhaps are affecting them, but in a very kind of light-hearted way, and it's fun, and it's so congratulations to the new stage theatre in Mulla, who'll be making.
I've got an idea for a theme for a soap opera. I'm a drummer, and it could go at the beginning and at the end, and then a dramatic thing.
Turn off. We want people to listen though, Paul.
We get a producer to he got a new haircut today, so we're getting him to do Phil Mitchell.
Yeah, Brian looks very smart today.
Absolutely, yes.
We must mention Brian Daly.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks to Brian.
We have to mention Brian as well.
And
Michal in the background.
And we have to mention
we know you're there.
Kate Ennals at the Cavan Community and Voluntary Forum, who really kind of stuck with the radio and got through the 30 days, and everyone was part of the committee on Cavan Community Radio. Just to congratulate them on getting us thus far, you know. So because we're well into our 100 days now this year, so if we get through this 100 days, we can go on full time as a fully licensed radio station.
Excellent.
That's wonderful.
Best of luck.
Yes.
And are the hours restricted on your broadcast if you go full time?
No. So once you get your full license, then you
can broadcast your 24 hours.
We've been told to shut up.
Yeah. So
we've been told to shut up.
I'm looking for a job here.
So that's us here on the community show on Cavan Community or CavanTV.com. And thanks to Paul and thanks to Tony for joining us here tonight.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. They're very best.
We'll be here next week. Any bands, let us know. Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want, send it to us. We need it.